Okay, so this is my first thing where I'm going to start to call out all the places where people are going to highlight tasks that are being done that I'm just telling you are better done with AI. So a perfect example is a person can go into an ad account, slice data, pull back really great reports, and that's half of what we pay them for. Um, that is like, I think, at the absolute quintessential value proposition of what AI could potentially offer is like the ability to query and answer and interact with data at scale instantaneously, way faster than any human could, and to design that not only in a reactive way where you query and ask questions, but also proactively where it's actually providing you insight as it occurs in real time. So one of the limitations of humans I talk about a lot is that we have biological limitations. We have to go to the bathroom, we sleep, we eat lunch. Whereas an AI can monitor data perpetually, so it can watch for any sudden changes and proactively bring alerts to it. So that's one way that this becomes possible is we have to think about the transfer of information from just a pull-based request to where like I have a thing I'd like to understand and know, and I ask somebody and they provide me the information. They're really great at knowing it, which it sounds like the paid social person for xCloud is, which many people are, to like the alternative, which is that there's something monitoring a system all the time and proactively providing information that's important, or even getting to a place where it can act on those things without even needing to provide you the information, because really, what are you going to offer into the analysis at some point? So all of this, I think, is trying to reframe how we interact with the information in this system where why is it necessary for a person to go into Ads Manager, slice and dice the data and provide you reporting? That shouldn't be a thing that a human is required to do. And part of why this gets enabled is because you begin to build layers where there's sort of this like capacity for both push and pull information in real time faster from AI and tooling and automation. Here's my challenge, primarily to you three. And this is what we discovered in our organization. And this is not really a knock on anybody in your system that they aren't awesome people who do a lot of thought work. But my challenge to each one of you is like that stack of people you described, from your director of growth to your growth strategy manager to your ad ops person in support, like make them write down their 40-hour week. Make them write it down. Every hour, what do they do? This is the hard part that like all of us, even me as a CEO, when I do this, it is a very challenging task to deal with the reality that I am not that productive that often. That a lot of my time gets absorbed into being in things that don't impact the business nearly as much as I think I have. And this is one of humans' fundamental problems as labor, right? Is that we have tendency to get caught up in all sorts of random tasks and meetings and sharing of information versus the execution level functions of tasks. But I'm willing to bet that if you took those three people, director of growth, growth strategy manager, ad ops person, and made them write down in a 40-hour work week, tell me everything that you do, and then you committed to trying to build tooling to support, to reduce the amount of time that every one of those tasks take, you'd find immense gains. And if you're honest, if the people are honest and you scrutinize the work with like genuine sincerity, you'd find that a lot of those tasks are just done in inefficient ways, or they're just kind of making up the excess time that it takes. Like, because work is a gas, it fills the space that you give it. And in each of these roles, the more duplicitous they become, the less there is an opportunity for every individual to be really impactful. So anybody who challenges this idea that you could turn 4 people into 1, I'd say before you can even begin to assess it, you first have to go and look at the actual component parts of all of the labor. What are they all doing? And then how does that overlap with the modern available set of tools to replicate that work? And then what if you were trying to build a system, if you spent every day doing that with a dev team and a bunch of people, could you imagine the possibility that some of those tasks wouldn't have to take that long or wouldn't even have to exist in a person at all?